Now, tonight we have a very special event because we're going to be dealing with a phenomenon called the Alamo. And it's much bigger than just a single movie. It's much bigger than a tourist attraction. The Alamo is really what people first think of when they hear the word San Antonio. And we're going to explore that tonight in how movies have created an impression and a thought about who we are as a community.
Because I decided after this one, no, I don't want to do too much of the blood and gore of Vietnam, so I started doing images of friends. And this one was the first piece that I actually did of Vietnam. It's a self-portrait, and it's in a art book that Arizona State University put out. They had a national call out for Chicano artists, and I was very, very fortunate to be, selected as one of them.
Did you ever work with her? I'm sure you did. So
I only met when I was a school teacher in Robstown.
Wow.
The band used to perform on flatbed trailer trucks in the parking lot, and she was like 11 or 12 years old.
Kid.
And that was the only.
For those of you who don't know, Selena was as beautiful as a person, a person as her voice was beautiful.
The rest of the community has gotten behind that to prioritize not only African American burial sites, but also to get beyond the myth of the African American community just being isolated on San Antonio's east side. So what we're doing with this mapping project is actually finding settlements on the west side, on the south side, on the north side, and even burial sites on the west, southwest, and north side that people really didn't know about.
The important things about corrido is not the music per se, it's the story. It's the story that it tells. And this is my father's story from his military service, and then the second part in World War II. El Corrido del Servicio Militar, Part 1, Camp Bowie, 1941. El día 30 de enero y me quisiera acordar, salimos de San Antonio al registro general.
I was assigned to work at Wilson School, Ada Wilson School, that was orthopedically involved children, and they were being dealt with nearby, right next door, in fact, at the clinic. Some of these were MDs, muscular dystrophy children, and they range from ages, I guess 8, 9, 10 years old.
But slowly then, there was in this diocese, the bishops and the priests got more involved in justice issues and trying to serve the poor directly and trying to change things. And by the time it gets to my generation, then the logical thing was to do community organizing, because we saw that it was very effective around the country. And we brought in people who knew how to do community organizing, and we worked through the churches, and it was very effective.
So we were like the invisible, genre musicians. So I started the Hispanic Concert Hotline. I convinced the San Antonio Express News to allow me to write about Tejano artists. And that's how it started. Because I was the first, the musicians that I interviewed I said, let me start with the old timers because they won't be around too long.
So you really cannot do this just with the recipe. It means experience.
Yeah.
To be able, because you're reading the dough, right? To see when it's just right.
And that's why I don't like to use a stand mixer, because
you don't like to use what?
I don't like to use the stand mixer because you can't feel the dough, because the dough is really the thing that tells you when it's done.
As women, we have high standards of the way we look, and we have high standards of the way we sound, and and just a woman's touch on music, and then to make it mariachi music, it just makes it that much more special.